Nerdy Squad, what is up? It's your boy Otis. We back. We got another video. We got more to talk about. Finally. So last night, I finally got a chance to catch the Loki Season 2, Episode 1. Couldn't miss it. I saw everybody talking about it. I said, oh, hell no, your boy got to get in on this shit. So, I finally got a chance to catch it. I got to honestly tell y'all, I really liked Episode 1. I don't care what anybody got to say about it. I really enjoyed it. I know when it comes to time travel and all this kind of stuff, rules are always bent. Nothing ever makes sense. But hey, whatever. So, let's go ahead and get into Episode 1. Can't pronounce the title, so skip that. But basically, in this episode, it takes place after the events of Season 1. And going into Season 2, Episode 1, Loki is being chased by Mobius, and I forgot the black chick's name. But they're chasing after Loki. Loki manages to escape. I think what happened was his body ends up just going crazy, and he ends up getting transported back into the past. So, Mobius and the black chick end up having to go see their superiors. And meanwhile, Loki is stuck in the past. His body is basically time skipping throughout this whole entire episode. And he gets stuck at a point in the past where nobody knows who he is, or I believe they know who he is, but they think he's still a criminal, so they're not used to who, as he is in the current timeline where they actually know him. So then he ends up time skipping again to the present, and then this is where Mobius and the black chick are in the office, and they're explaining the whole situation about how their whole lives have been stolen from them. They're in the TVA, everything is a lie, and how they have regular lives they gotta live, but the TVA, everything that's been going on is a lie. And so meanwhile, Loki is stuck in the past, and he ends up going to the war room that they're in, and he sees that there's a huge wall, almost like a mural to Kang, all these different versions of Kang. And so then he ends up going back to the present because his body just, he goes through another situation where he snaps back into the present, and he ends up telling Mobius and the black chick that, hey, this is who's running things around here. This is who created this whole TVA. This is how this whole situation was created. And this episode really kept me entertained from start to finish. It was non-stop action from start to finish. It does get pretty confusing though when you watch Loki go back from past, present, future, and then of course all the stuff that happens in between. So anyway, getting into it, of course Mobius and Loki have to go talk to this guy named OB. I forgot the guy's whole name, but they go talk to OB, and OB lets him know, yeah, he's time slipping out of time, but it's something that shouldn't be happening in TVA, but it's happening, and Loki's constantly going back and forth between the past, present, and then eventually the future. And so, meanwhile, the black chick, her superiors are going after Sylvia, and they send, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 soldiers out, and she's like, isn't this overkill for one person? But I just think that the higher superior, one of the authorities, I don't think we got her name, she got some kind of nefarious plan, because there's just something with her. It didn't seem like she was clicking with what Mobius and the black chick was saying in the office when they're trying to warn her about, this whole time, being pulled out of time and having her whole life stripped from them. Because on the screen, you were seeing how the timeline was branching out like trees and how everything just wasn't looking right. And even the TVA isn't immune to it, because the TVA, the whole area is literally going through a power surge. And so after Mobius and Loki go see OB, he lets them know that, hey, y'all gotta fix the TVA. The main power core is going through a surge. So this is kind of a fun part right here, because Loki ends up time snapping again, goes to the past where he's talking to OB in that current timeline, and everything he's telling OB and from the past, the current OB, remembers like a memory, because obviously Loki is telling him in the past. So he builds the machine, Loki time snaps back to the present, and they end up going to this room, where the core is. And of course, Loki ends up snapping out of time again. And then it's funny because OB is telling them the problems or the situations that will happen if they don't manage to fix, this situation. Mobius will end up having to go outside to put this machine or this device into the core of the machine to fix it, right? And if he doesn't make it back in time, his body is basically just gonna get ripped apart. He's gonna lose all his skin. Meanwhile, Loki, I forgot what happened to him, but what's gonna happen to him was a whole lot worse. I think his whole body is just going, I can't remember if it's gonna disintegrate or something crazy. But basically, he's pretty much, we ended up dying, right? So if they don't fix the situation. So they end up, I believe, fixing the situation, but they do make it seem like, oh snap, Loki's not going to make it, but it's the Loki series, so obviously, he had to make it. But they played it off really well to the last second. And the episode ends. And then you see Sylvia, she's back in like 1983, I forgot where she's at, but she's at a McDonald's. It's like an old school looking McDonald's. And, I guess she ends up ordering food, but she doesn't really know how to do it the human way. And so she turns around, she's looking at everybody, and she says she wants everything. And I guess she's going to be the big bad villain of this season. So, post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Let me know if I'm missing anything in this review. Definitely make sure you like, you comment, subscribe, help people get his views up. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I'm out.